Welcome to the Off Leash podcast with Dr. Pete. I am your co-host Molly, and we're so glad that you joined us for today's show. Remember, we are never here to say what you want us to say. We are only here to be an advocate for you and your pet.
Amen.
Mostly just your pet.
Mostly your pet, that's right.
So, today is a gloomy Tuesday, September 23rd.
It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of gloomy out there.
Today
Looks like
was
it's going to rain a little bit.
I don't know if you heard this at all, but today was supposed to be like the end of the world or something. Did you hear
really?
that?
Oh.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like a rapture or something. I got on TikTok this morning and that's all that I saw.
Well, I did not get on TikTok this morning, so there you go.
I cannot imagine you on TikTok. I actually just got Pete on Instagram. Well, you don't, it's not a real Instagram. He doesn't like post or anything, but he sees what we post for the dog food.
Sure.
So he enjoys.
Well, we have a social media presence, so I always think I ought to have some idea what you guys are doing. So
yeah, we just posted the last Office video. I don't know if you guys ever watched those or not.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
They're fun. They're like these little spin-off videos of The Office.
You brought Jade or Potato to work?
Yeah. The last one was Bring Your Dog to Work Day. It's kind of fun. If you guys want to go see it, check it out. You can find us at Voyager Dog Food Co. on Instagram.
Yeah, if people didn't know better, she has this little dachshund that wants to chew on the Labrador Retriever, so it's like...
She's so mean.
We have our own little dog fighting ring.
We do. It's like Michael Vick's house whenever you come over.
Michael Vick's house. That's exactly what it's like. Blood all over. I'm just kidding.
No, she does. I felt Sage's ear the other day.
Yeah.
Sage does not mess with her, though. If she goes over to Sage, Sage will bite her. Yep. But she will take little chunks out of the dog's ears, and I'll feel their ears, and there's little puncture holes.
You know what else she does? It's really weird. I've never seen a dog do this in my life. We have these bones, these chewy bones that they like to chew on and everything, and she wants it. She goes over to where that dog is and then backs up over the bone.
She does. She scoots her butt into him.
Scoots her butt into him and then reaches between her legs or around a little bit and then pulls the bone out with her butt in their face and stuff. It's really...
It's kind of interesting.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, and I just want you to know I didn't teach your dog how to do that trick.
She's so weird.
Yeah.
She's probably one of the most like quirky dogs I've ever owned.
Yeah.
And she has what we are going to be talking about today, which is separation anxiety.
Okay. Well, that's been going on for a long time.
But I think that it's more...
I didn't know she had separation anxiety.
She just gets like so I have the Blink cameras at my house. And whenever I leave, it always like ding, ding, ding with the Blink cameras. I'm like, what's going on? And it's her whining.
Oh, yeah.
And she just sits in there and goes,
she wanted to go with you.
Yeah.
So what you're describing,
minutes.
Yeah, and that's probably, to a certain extent, that probably is separation
mild separation anxiety.
Mild separation
Not
anxiety.
anything crazy.
No, the crazy stuff is, and here's where we see the crazy stuff. We see dogs that maybe somebody gives them up because they can't financially afford the dog or
I feel so bad for that.
So
they kind of like uproots their whole normal.
Well, they had their life, and now they don't have their life, and now they're in a kennel or some sort of a rescue, and they're in a cage, and they don't have that much interaction with everybody else, and that sort of thing. And so, so what happens is when you leave. Because that's what happens at a rescue, they're there and then they're not, then they're there and then they're not. And I think those dogs, start to become sort of socially maladjusted to a certain extent. And they have anxieties about why is this happening? Why am I here? I liked where I was at before, somebody, maybe somebody who's left a marriage, it wasn't their idea to leave the marriage. And now the marriage has been disjointed or broken up. And so they really feel bad about that. And then when this happens again, then they get adopted by another family, and then the family decides that they don't have the time for this dog, and they goes back to the rescue again. That's where the problems begin, and where you have this in the rescue, out of the rescue, in the rescue, out of the rescue. And I think what a lot of the rescues do, and I think is the right idea, is they try to get foster homes, people who are really good fostering pets. And it's always nice if they have another pet sometimes. So this dog is bonding with other dogs or maybe even in some cases cats. And but you do this thing where and really what happens sometimes, they get anxieties, and that's where they start being destructive in the home.
Yeah, she's not there yet. She does. Well, I will say if I like walk outside. So like last night I kept her in the house and I thought, oh, she'll be fine, not crated. Keep in mind, she's still only like 9 months old at this point. Mm-hmm. But I didn't leave her crated. And I went outside to go burn leaves. And I came back inside and she was chewing on a coffee table. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, shoot. So I think that it was just her like. When
this has happened at our house, if your mother and I sit out on the porch and she's in the house and she wants to come out. And sometimes we want to just sit out there and talk and maybe drink a beer or something like that and not be interrupted or having to watch her.
A dog, yeah.
Watch a dog, that's right. And she was chewing on one of your mother's ornamental rugs. and that's a way to end up in the wrong place in the food cycle. So anyway, chewing on Sharon's ornamental rugs is big no-no.
I think it adds character to the rug.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Yeah, it has a patina.
Patina.
Anyway, patina. The rug has patina now. And so we talked about a little bit about this, and sometimes what you have to do, and sometimes this keeps ramping up and getting higher and higher and higher, and the bad behavior gets worse and worse and worse. So then what are we going to do? You know,
I mean, think crating them solves it. A lot of in the home, at least.
Well, it depends on the dog. Some dogs, when I was a kid, I got crated. I had my own room with a record player and my Beach Boy records and my Beatles records and whatever else I had, and I had my two sisters, and I probably preferred just to be at certain points in my life to spend time by myself as to spend time with, the rest of the family. I had probably convinced myself my parents were as smart as I thought they were when I was 5 or 6. Turns out they were a lot smarter than I thought they were. But anyway, so then you have you're in there, and that's really what a room or that's what a crate is for a dog. It should be a place that they have some of their play toys and stuff like that, and a place of solace, not having to worry about somebody taking your toy away from you and that sort of thing. Other dogs don't want to be in that crate. They want to be out. And they're going to do whatever they got to do. They're going to make their nose bloody. They're going to break their nails off trying to get out of that crate. And it becomes an obsession. And once it becomes an obsession, it usually kind of ramps up from there. And some of those dogs, I feel bad because they'll go to shelter, get adopted, go to shelter, get adopted. And they have such bad behavior that every time they go back to the shelter, when they come out, the behavior pattern becomes worse.
Do you think that it's like breed specific? Like I feel like a lot of Malinois would have anxiety.
Yeah, they're kind of busy shepherds. Dogs. Yep.
But I feel like older, like, I don't know. In my experience of volunteering at the shelter, all like the high drive dogs had the anxiety about being in the crate. But all the other dogs were very content with it.
Well, then the question is, what do you do? How do you do this? And I think what you have this thing in your house where you have a camera. Is that right? A camera?
Yeah, it's a blink camera.
Well, I think that's the number one thing. Let's get a camera in the house and let's watch what's going on in the house when you leave. Are they up on the furniture looking out the window and howling and pawing at the furniture or pawing at the door? And then really what you're going to have to do, and here's what we suggest you do. We suggest you get a Kong toy and put a little peanut butter in it and give it to them before you leave the house. That way they've got an activity and an activity that, and really the Kong toy is one thing, but when it's got peanut butter in it, it's a whole different cat. And
freeze the peanut butter.
Yeah, and freeze it. And then what you do.
And it takes longer.
It takes longer, and they'll work their tail off trying to get that peanut butter out of the Kong toy. By that time, they're tired, and they forgot you even left the house because they've been so frantically trying to get the peanut butter out of the Kong toy. It's one thing you can do. Sometimes we do fluoxetine or Prozac, use that some. And sometimes we have to add a little amitriptyline into it. Some of these cocktails we make up for these dogs that have separation anxieties, they start to resemble Long Island iced tea by the time you get done adding all the stuff in. But and then you have to try this, try that, try this, try that, and then really, watch the camera. Watch the camera. Medicate them, watch the camera. Medicate them, watch the camera. Give them the Kong toy, watch the camera. See what works, see what doesn't work. A lot of times it's a combination of 2 or 3 different things, and you can finally get them. Sometimes another dog in the house is helpful. Sometimes leaving the TV on is helpful.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, for the record, I think dogs may be CTV now that we have high def.
Yeah, you said that before, that they couldn't see the TV because of, what is it?
Well, the lines, it doesn't.
The lines, it doesn't, yeah.
So the rods and cones in the back of their eye are different. So they probably, I think they see, I don't think they can read very well. I don't think they could have read a script or, I don't think they're going to become big readers because they can't see that well. But what they do see is they'll see if something moves quickly. In other words, there could be a mouse over here, 25 yards away, and that mouse gets up and moves 3 inches, and they see that. They're like, "Oh, it moved."
Yeah.
And they see that really quickly. So, so you can leave the TV on. Maybe they have something they really like to watch, reruns of Lassie or whatever. But anyway,
I've seen that online. People will play specific movies that their dogs like.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that happens. I think either they like the music that's in there or they like the fact there's another animal in there and stuff. I don't know that they get overly enthused about animated stuff, but I think they like the stuff where there's real animals in it and stuff. Yeah. So some of these, maybe a Western, that has horses and stuff in it. And so I think that's what you do. You got to figure out what works, what doesn't work. The thing that doesn't work is taking them back to the shelter and adopting them, taking them back to the shelter.
What about the indestructible cages?
Well, the problem with the indestructible cage is the dog's not indestructible. So
it's going to hurt the dog more?
Yeah, it's going to hurt the dog more. And they become so obsessed with it. I had a dog one time when I was a kid. I didn't know what separation anxiety was then because I go over to the neighbor's house and play baseball. And the problem was we had this dog named Toby, nice dog, but he'd come over and want to play baseball with us in a minute. So we hit the ball. He'd cut the shortstop off and get the ball. So I'd leave him. So we had what we called a well house at home, in other words. So it was sort of a workhouse that my dad was in, where you fix equipment, welder, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I had that and I thought, well, I'll just put him in the well house and lock the door. And I went back home. Well, I went over there and played baseball. We played for a while and all of a sudden he showed up and he'd eaten the hole right out of the door. Oh, my dad was furious. Toby. And ate the hole right out of the thing. And of course, I got my rear end chewed, and the dog got his rear end chewed. And
nobody was happy.
No,
this is not a good day.
Maybe my mother even put up with a little abuse and stuff. I don't think abuse, but you get the idea that my mom was unhappy that my dad was unhappy, and so my dad put thicker plywood over it the next time. I never locked that dog back up in that thing again, but he chewed his way out. And it was probably not very good wood, but man, he chewed his way out. I mean, when I say he chewed it out, I mean, he chewed his way out. And that was separation anxiety. He wanted to come over and play baseball. And he wanted to play with us. And of course, he ran down the road and showed up at the neighbor's house. We lived about 120 yards or 150 yards away from each other.
That's wild.
And he showed up. And I'm like, oh, must be my dad let the dog out. And
Nope,
not. So it never even dawned to me that there was glass in that thing. He could have jumped through the glass and hurt himself. But anyway, he didn't do that. But the thing is, we got to stop this before it becomes irreversible. I think that's the big thing. We were about the irreversible part of this is that it gets worse and worse and worse, and actually the shelters, to a certain extent, may inadvertently
make it worse.
Yeah, make it worse. That's right. So
and it's not like they're trying to. It just happens that way.
No.
But I do think that putting them in a crate is better than them destroying your whole house.
Well, it is. It is certainly better. Or maybe. You can give them gabapentin, trazodone to kind of slow them up a couple hours before you leave the house, and do something they enjoy with the Kong toy and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, but it's really difficult. I think some of these dogs do have combinations; they can be saved. But I would tell you this much: I mean, if you were in foster care as a kid, if you'd been in 4 or 5 different foster homes, your chances of being incarcerated are substantially higher, just because that you lack stability, and the dog lacks stability, so they're not a hell of a lot different than we are, except they don't go to jail. They sometimes
they go to crate jail, or
some of those dogs they're in such tough shape that mentally that they get
euthanized, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
and everybody, probably there's people listening to this or watching this today say, well, you shouldn't do that. Well, I think when you're that emotionally distraught, maybe that's a really unhappy dog, and unhappy more than happy.
You'd have to find like the perfect home scenario for that dog, like on a farm.
Yeah.
Where he can just run free all the time and not get locked up.
Yeah.
With someone that's home all the time.
Yep. Somebody that has homebound.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because most of us go do things. We go to a movie. We go to Applebee's. We go whatever. We go here.
You go to Applebee's for the half off apps. I don't know anybody that goes to Applebee's.
You don't?
No.
Oh.
Their food's so gross. It went downhill after COVID.
Well, we're not here to slander people's food here today.
Chili's is a better option.
Okay, very good.
Chili's.
Okay.
Out of all the chain restaurants, Chili's.
Yep. And we got a new one coming now. We got
Texas Roadhouse.
And we got Olive Garden.
Olive Garden, that's right.
So
Battle Creek's moving up in the world.
Yeah, we're moving up in the world. Yeah, we now are a place to go.
It used to be a place to go. I thought that Battle Creek back in the day was like the place.
Mm-hmm. You know
because
what
of the sanitarium.
What was founded here was Bill Knapp's. Do you remember Bill Knapp's at all?
Bill Knapp's was founded here?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh yeah. There's a veterinary dentist, Dr. Ben Colmery, that his relatives were part of the founding thing on Bill Knapp's.
Battle Creek has a wild history, I feel like.
So it used to be able to get whatever your age was when you got older. In other words, if you got to be 50, you got 50% off your bill. I had a great uncle, my Uncle Dio. He went there and I think he paid 7 cents for a meal one time because he was 98 or 99. I don't remember.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Bill Knapp's was like the restaurant, like a very family-oriented restaurant.
No alcohol, no. And they really kind of got sideways because they moved into Florida and they forgot that all the older people went home for 6 months during the middle of the year.
Yeah.
And so
it started in Battle Creek.
It did.
We still have Bill Knapp's cake at Myers that you can buy.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple Bill Knapp's around town here. Buildings are still up. You just don't recognize them. So,
really?
Oh, yeah. I'll take you around someday and show you. Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
And Kellogg's was founded here?
The Kellogg's was founded here.
What else was founded here?
Post was founded here.
Okay, Post.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Archway Cookie was founded here.
What?
Yeah. You remember Archway Cookies at all? Yeah.
Battle Creek was quite a place at the time.
Well, I'll tell you what else was founded here. Voyager Dog Food Company.
Yeah.
Not in the same breath as...
Maybe one day, instead of it being Cereal City, it'll be Dog Food City.
No. We live next to Kalamazoo. That's been all sorts of cities. It's been Celery City.
Battle Creek, Kalamazoo was?
Celery City, and then it was a mall city, and then it was a paper city. Well, they had a lot of paper mills over there, and then they had one of the very first malls, and then they had all these celery flats. So it's kind of weird because one decade there was a celery center.
I don't think there's any celery flats anymore, is there?
Well, there's down there in Comstock, yeah. So they made they have a lot of celery, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I don't get too excited about celery unless there's a Bloody Mary attached to it. But anyway, yeah, it was, and a lot of cities are that way. They have a name, they have a theme, but a lot of times the people that live there, so like Grand Rapids, which is north of us here, that's the furniture city.
Yeah.
And that has forever been referred to as the furniture city. Kalamazoo's, they don't know what they are. They're the celery city or the mall city or the paper city.
The Crossroads Mall was like the...
No, it wasn't that mall. It was the mall downtown.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the first mall.
That's wild.
They took a street, closed it off, put some benches and flowers in there, and it was a mall. And then it was kind of a good deal because they had ample parking behind it, behind each one of those places. And so they could get enough people in there to make it go.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought that Battle Creek was famous because of the sanitarium, because a bunch of people got treated at the sanitarium.
Well, that is. And
like
so
the Fords got treated there. Amelia Earhart got treated there. Who else?
Well, that's where Kellogg's came from. So the Kellogg people, so Dr. Kellogg ran the sanitarium.
Yeah.
So most
but
people
he just created cereal as a bland.
Well, he created as part of the healthcare for people that were there.
Because he wanted just a bland.
And so C.W. Post is C.W. Post was one of his patients. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
He stole the recipes and went out on his own and started his own cereal company. So then Kellogg's little brother, Will Kellogg, W.K. Kellogg, he started a cereal company right across the street. Right now, you can go out there. There's Kellogg's and there's Post, and you can stand on the entrance to Post or Kellogg's and drive a golf ball into the side of the other guy's building. So they're right across.
I love that they just posted up right next to each other.
Yeah, they posted up right next. Well, there's railroad tracks in between them, so they utilized the railroad tracks and went through, because that's how they brought the grain in at one time. You have to remember this, the early 1900s, they didn't have these big 40-foot trailers with big diesel engines and stuff. So they brought everything came by train. Left
Yeah, the
by train.
railway over there is crazy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we just have one track that goes downtown, but if you go over there, there's like 5, maybe 6.
Well, it's a, what do they call it? A something yards. Oh, I can't remember. There's a term for that.
Stockyards?
No. There's a term for that.
Rail yards?
Oh, it escapes me. Where you organize all the trains and everything on those tracks and everything.
I don't know. Anyway.
There's a lot of stuff that gets away from me. Anyway.
We got off topic from not reactive, dogs with separation anxiety.
Because we have attention deficit disorder.
I know.
So anyway.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing, with these separation anxieties. You have to recognize them. You have to ask your veterinarian for some help. In the end, you got to figure this all out yourself. I tell my clients this. If you're my client, I said,
problem.
You got a Molly problem. Let me see if I can help you with your Molly problem. And we try to do that together. That's the big thing. We try to do it together. It isn't me, it isn't you, or it isn't really even your dog, but it's the three of us.
I'm going to add one other tidbit of information. Since I take Jade over to your house so often, I feel like the separation anxiety has gone down.
Right.
Because she's not around me all the time.
Right. And there's more people over there and there's more dogs over there.
Yeah. So maybe that's another idea is take your dog around someone else, have someone else pet
I think there's
sit.
a certain amount of flooding that occurs because right now there's so many dogs over there now and cats and everything. She has something to chase all day long.
Oh man.
And she comes home and
she beats the shit out of those cats.
Yep. And then she plops down and takes a nap.
I love bringing her over to your house because I always pick her up and she's exhausted.
There you go. Doggy daycare.
Doggy daycare.
Yep.
Well, should we get some intro or outro music going?
We should do that. But I think that's the thing we need to, the separation anxiety is treatable. You can fix it. And like a lot of us, as we get a little older, we become a little more mentally stable. Maybe than we used to be. And so there's always hope for everybody, dogs included. But it takes quite an effort to get dogs over separation anxiety. And you just need the help sometimes with behaviorists, sometimes veterinarian and behaviorist, and you need to do the work yourself.
Stay consistent.
That's right. Stay consistent. That's exactly right.
Cool. Well, guys, we sure appreciate you listening along with us today. We hope that we've been able to share some information that will help you love your animals as much as they love you. Don't forget, always treat the treatable, prevent the preventable, and we will catch you on the next one.
And whatever you do, stay out of the sanitarium. There you go.
And hopefully there's not going to be a rapture today, so we can have a next day podcast.
Okay. Yeah, see you in the hereafter.
Bye, guys.
Bye.